there's a big issue out there today, and repowering is going to keep coming up because, one, the components were not built back then for what they need to be today. Even the components that are being sold today are not built for what it needs to be in 30 years.
25 years is a long time.
Insert Dean Solon and create energy. That's what we want to solve for.
I'm not going to try to second guess the industry. I'm just going to have all these kick-ass solutions across the supply chain. We have done extensive testing. We know what we're doing is delivering hyper-reliable products.
This ride is a rocket, and it's going to the moon, right? Mm-hmm. So there's Elon, there's Dean.
All right, welcome to yet another Sounds of Solar podcast. We are back once again. I know you've been waiting. Prati, to my left, how's it going?
Doing well, excited.
Yeah.
We've got some awesome guests here.
I know.
And it's going to be a fun episode.
Yeah, that's right. I'm good. Christoph Bruhn hosting today once again with Prati on the co-hosting duties. We've got a couple special guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Who are you people that have joined us today on the Sounds of Solar podcast?
Well, in case you don't know, I'm Dean Solon. Started Shoals Technologies Group, IPO'd, retired, started Create Energy, and evolutionizing solar, not revolutionizing solar.
I like it, yeah.
And I'm his average Joe. I'm just kidding.
Is that the line you usually
I do
go with?
use that quite often right now, especially in golf. No, Joe Fahrney, been with Dean for a number of years, worked for him at Shoals, launched his EV charging business unit. Prior to that, spent some time in renewables and EV charging. Mm-hmm. And before that was telco, IoT, cloud computing, and with Verizon Wireless. So been with Dean since he started this thing and been on the rocket ever since.
Which started when?
March of 23.
March 23. So we're just over 3 years into it, if my math is correct.
Not bad.
Yeah, there you go. I can't believe we're already halfway through this decade, too. That's just like, something like, it happened in 2018. That was like just a couple years ago, right? No, it was like a substantial amount of time ago. Mm-hmm. So you guys are here. You're in Minnesota. We talked briefly, but you've been to Minnesota before. What has brought you to Minnesota previously?
My friends up at Blattner.
Okay, yes, they're our friends, too.
And Mortensen.
Yeah. Did you get to do anything fun here? Did you go fishing? Did you do outdoor stuff? Is that a sore subject?
I went fishing with the Blattner guys. Yeah. Up in whatever it is.
What time of year?
January.
Oh.
Froze my balls off.
Yeah, that's what that tends to happen.
You don't know where this.
And I don't drink all that much, and I don't fish, but I had a good time because they gave me the keys to the 4x4.
Oh, well,
and
yeah.
I turned the traction control and ABS off and went and did donuts forever.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but, ice fishing is not exactly about the fishing. Let's put it that way. It's usually about being in the cabin on the mobile cabin on the frozen lake, and what happens in the mobile cabin stays in the mobile cabin.
And it usually involves carbon monoxide and alcohol. Because them little propane heaters running or just dumping all that monoxide, you're in a brain fog.
Yeah,
I'm like the fish. I'm like, can just kill me.
just
like
go,
that fish.
Please.
Take me out, man. I'm probably going to die anyway.
On.
I think I'm turning pink as it is.
Yeah.
So then you outside and it's like 20 below. So you're like, dead. You want to go back in the cabin.
Yeah, go back in.
80. You're like, well, I can't
smells
breathe.
like dead fish in there, too. Yeah, so it's like, it's not exactly, it's an acquired taste, maybe.
It is.
I grew up in northern Minnesota, didn't grow up ice fishing. Not really my kind of thing, honestly, but...
So do you release the fish back, or...
Well, I don't know. I didn't grow up doing it.
Okay.
No, they kept them.
Just kept them? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we ate them that night.
Yeah. Was it good? Meh. Was it walleye? What was it?
Yeah.
Tasted
if
like
Blattner's listening, oh my God, it was the best time. The most flavorful fish I've ever had. Oh my God, it was the best.
Yes.
But
It
otherwise,
tasted like carbon monoxide?
hey, Lisa, my wife, go to Publix or Kroger's and, just get a couple fillets of something and cook them on the grill.
Yeah.
It's just as easy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you the extent people go to the ice houses they're like, some people have like $75,000 ice houses and with all the data and like screens and like it's
I
it's
remember
a whole thing.
I remember one of the guys, and I'm gonna say Jamie. We started in the cabin drinking Irish cream coffees at about 4:45.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're out, you get in that ice house.
Mm-hmm.
you're already wasted.
Yeah.
It's like 6:30 in the morning. It's
Yeah.
like, holy shit, I got
I was going to
entire
ask
day
you,
of this
I think
crap.
it was 5 a.m. you were saying, and then you clarified
Yeah.
it there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
early, but it's fun.
Yeah. It's
That's
fun.
very cool.
Just like the Sounds of Solar podcast. So, Dean, Joe, you guys are on today. We're going to talk about all things create moving forward. You guys are on an engineering show, so we can talk about the engineering.
We
in
love
depth.
engineers.
Yes, thank you. I do
Yes.
too, Proddy.
Yeah.
We're safe.
We love engineers 10 times more than lawyers.
Yeah. I think
love
I think lawyers
I think we can all agree on that, right? We try to fix problems, not create them. So,
Yes. And
what's that?
we create solutions.
Exactly.
for
Is that
your
your
problems.
tagline?
You never know.
Okay.
But one thing I wanted to just I guess we can start with what
Here we go.
exactly is create, because like I've looked into you guys, and I think you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys are an umbrella that has a lot of other companies as well. Is that what create is? Want to expand on that?
Sure. So 23 decided to start create, kicking out ideas on what to do, and Nissan Corporation reaches out and asks us to design a microgrid. So like, sure, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
They put us up against all the usual suspects, the ABBs, Siemens, Schneider, Q-Cells, Solar Edges, right? It went from 10 of us to 5 of us to 3 of us to landing their North American corporate headquarters microgrid. So 60 kW carports, 0.5 megawatt hour battery energy storage, 16 level 2 chargers, 2 level 3 chargers. They gave us over a year to design and build it. We were done, including listing, in 9 months and installed it.
That is insane.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
And it's been operating flawlessly ever since. And
listing a system of that size in 9 months is
yeah,
pretty crazy.
we did it to
Okay.
891, 1741s. We've got a few listings.
Wow.
And then started to say, okay, we have a clean slate of solar,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because battery energy storage was coming around, but we started with solar and said, okay, I don't have to talk to a module company versus a tracker company versus an EBOS company versus a skid company. I got a clean slate. How would I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And just started implementing from how the module attaches to the torque tube on the tracker, how the EBOS and wire management attaches to the tracker, how it gets to the inverter stations, how it talks to the weather station and says this needs to be an ecosystem, right? And what we've done for 20 years in solar is you have the module people saying, this is what we have, design your trackers around that. Then you got a tracker person saying, I don't want to have to do much engineering. So you go hire a PE to figure out how to bring these two together.
Yep.
We're not sure if it works. You're going to spend a lot of PE dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's what you guys do for a living. Try to determine if it's even viable. Then you got to then look at the EBOS. Then you got to look at the inverter stations and blah, blah, blah. And thinking, okay, clean slate. Let's just systematically begin at the module, end at the O&M services.
Okay. So that's what create does. Like in general, you're taking everything, all of these different services or silos in a traditional way and then bringing it together.
Yes. And we're not concentrating on any modules. We're not, from the modules, anybody's module you want, we're happy to use it. We're not really wanting to be module manufacturers for the most part. It's a shitty business. It's massive CapEx, not much margin. And every 3 to 4 years, policy changes.
Yep.
Either makes you a superhero or you go from zero to hero every 4 years.
Yep.
So we want to start at the tracker and then innovate from there down. And just, you want to use First Solar, great. You want to use Trina, Jinko, whoever, we don't care. You know, tell us which module and we'll make sure it all blends together as one continuous system that's easily engineered and then installed. And what we're doing is we're designing systems for scarcity of labor, because that's the biggest problem.
Right.
All of my EPCs, all the utilities, like I can't find people to stay cutting grass, right? But more importantly, you can't find people who are craftsmen. They're all up in high-rise buildings in every major city doing the electrical work and the plumbing and HVAC, right? Doing all the trade skills, right? So you got the craftsman, you got the highly trained tradesmen, and what's left for solar, right? Because I'm in downtown Nashville working in a high rise, and by 6 p.m. I'm on Broadway having a good time. You're out in the middle of the desert installing solar. You're getting up, snakes jumping at you, spiders wants to say hello, right? You're sweating your balls off if you have them, or other, bodily functions you might have. And then at night, you're either sleeping in a trailer or you're going to a hotel for the next 6 months of your life.
Yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere.
And you're not getting tradesman pricing, right?
Yeah.
So, looking at that, saying, how do we take the people who have been kind of living in mommy's basement, 30-some years old, 20-some year olds, kind of depressed, life's unfair to me, who have been playing Xbox for 12 hours a day. And jokingly, you could bleep this out. I say playing Xbox 12 hours, beating off the porn, and waiting for Uncle freaking Sam's checks to arrive.
Yeah.
And yelling at mommy to bring me more Hot Pockets. Right?
Yes, this is the Hot Pocket Muncher.
He is Mr. Hot Pocket Muncher.
Yeah.
And we call it the barista girl who's in the morning. She's hating her life as a Starbucks barista. Bringing her to a solar field, and within 24 hours, he, whatever, is your most productive worker. And we want you to bring 2 tools with you to come to one of our solar fields, your left hand and your right hand. We've dumbed down the systems so well in automotive. I come from automotive. We used to call it idiot proofing, but that's a term the industry doesn't like. But we've idiot proofed the hell out of the systems, right? More importantly, we made it where the operators, the hourlies, the trade skills are going to bring their phone, they're going to bring an iPad, they're going to have a controller, and they're going to start tapping. And why am I doing that? I'm pragmatic about how to get these people engaged.
Yep.
You go to any restaurant, and the little baby, 18 months old, starts to cry, and mommy and daddy whip that iPad out, stick it in front, and they're tap happy, right? Hey, you got to realize they've been born and raised with tech in their fingers from less than 2 years old, right? They don't know how to use the side cutters, the lineman's pliers. Do I know what 30 inch-pounds of torque means? Do I know what Newton meters mean? So when you're doing this stuff, what you're trying to do in designs, especially in automotive, it's done it forever, is look at all the potential failure modes and say, how do I reduce those failure modes so I have a more reliable product? And I said, Dad, get rid of all those potential failure modes and eliminate all the things that go wrong. Nuts, bolts, washers, Belvilles, right? Bring in your daddy's crimper from 1950 to terminate a bunch of MC4s or Tycos or Amphenols, right? You're asking for failures in the system.
So the biggest point of failure, you think, is the human element within the whole system installation. And you're trying to correct for that by how? Like what?
No, I'm gonna take it a bit further. I'm gonna back up a bit. Since I left Shoals 22, the modules are thin as shit. The torque tubes are unbelievably thin. The pile spacings are absolutely large. So you got these sagging, scalloping freaking torque tubes. You got modules hanging over the torque tube. So you got dynamic load of the module trying to act as a structural component of the torque tube. And you're asking that stuff to go 30 years. That shit ain't going 2 years.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's how it is. You're saying it exactly how it is. It's just you see these spans that are just like Boeing, and it's like, how is this ever going to make it 2 or 3 years?
It
honestly?
doesn't.
Yeah.
It literally does. And then you stick that down in Texas, and you get a nice little breeze, 30, 40 mile an hour breeze, and shit's falling over. You get a hailstorm. You look at the module glass, it's like 1.9 millimeter glass on 30 millimeter frames.
And it used to be 3.2, something like this?
Yeah. I mean, it's just thin as shit. And I'm not going to place total blame on EPCs, right? The utilities and the IPPs wanted as much product on their solar field as cheap as possible for the best price. So you go to the module maker, you go to the tracker guy, and you say, hey, I need cost down. I need cost down. I need cost down. You're not going to win the business. All right, well, my torque tubes went from 4 millimeter still to 3 to now 2.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you're seeing the scalloping and then the piles are getting thinner. The modules suck, right? The modules are weak as shit. The modules out there all look to me like garbage, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's your job as engineers to try to look at all that, do the structural and electrical analysis, and say PE stamp.
Yep.
But I say that I'm looking at it as from a two-lane bifurcated way of doing it. Is the EPC needs that 2 years and 1 day.
Yep.
So he's no longer warranty liable.
Right. Yep.
And then the owner is looking, going, is that ever going to get me 20? That's not going to give me 40 years, let alone 25. I'm not even sure I'm going to get 3 years out of this junk, right? And a lot of it's just totally failing.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the scarcity of labor with shitty products.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Or good fires.
Yeah, good fires.
No, but it kind of reminds me of how like testing of the equipment, like rigorous testing of the equipment is also a big part of this, right? Like I still remember in AllenCon, like when I was building the product and we would just say, okay, it's going to last for 15 years or 20 years, I would be like, how do I know that? Like, I don't know that. Like, and then we'd bring in a machine, a cycling machine to cycle that. So how much of that is a testing problem? Like the equipment manufacturers just selling product that's not effectively tested, you know?
Well, I'm going to say the standards, the UL and IEC standards are shit, especially in electrical. I mean, 5 milliamps of leakage, 50 microamps. This is all stupid, right? The whole industry needs to look at the standards and say, okay, we could do massively better than this. To get a wet high pot test, you stick whatever electrical you're testing in electrically conductive water with the surfactant in it. And did they actually test the water for conductivity? Because without mineral load, there's no conductivity in water.
Yeah,
right?
You're testing
water.
everything through ideal
You have
conditions.
to have at least 300 Siemens seconds of freaking water test. But then you drop it in, you soak at 2,000 volts DC, then a minute of taking the range of whatever the highest value of the current leakage is, and that's the test, and boom, you're now listed.
No,
I mean, any monkey can pass that test.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you because I've seen UL testing myself, and for sure you're not rigorously testing and then saying, okay, the product's good to go.
You're checking a box.
You're checking
basically.
a box effectively,
Yeah.
and you're checking a box that's ideal. Like let's say you want to rate a product for 20 kilowatts. Okay, is it going to run 20 kilowatts for 8 hours? Is that what you're promising? Is that what you're selling? You got to test it for those conditions and prove that out, you know, before you say, okay, I'm going to give you a stamp and put that in the field, and like 2 months later it blows because it's been stressed more than what you've tested it for. So,
but being engineers, you know, when you're doing this stuff, I come from automotive. When I dropped out of Purdue, I went to work for a company that did automotive tier 1 manufacturing, and you learn design FEMAs, failure mode analysis, right? So you take all the design failures that could go wrong, you dump that into process failures, right? Into the PFEMA, and you try to keep eliminating issue by issue, and you kind of rank them like death versus this one's a no-brainer, right? So when I got into solar 2003 with First Solar, they asked me to build them J-box harnesses. And I remember I took 30 parts up to their office and what's called a PPAP, a production part approval process. It was that thick on 30 parts on a 3-foot piece of wire with one connector on the end. And he said, what the hell is this, Dean? I said, it's a PPAP, and those are the 30-piece critical layout parts. And there's all the test data. He said, I don't know, what is this? I said, you know what a PPAP is? They said, no. I said, I love you guys. But I've never stopped. Everything we do, I stay to automotive standards, Six Sigma manufacturing, right?
okay.
Because when something goes wrong in solar, somebody gets electrocuted or fires occur.
Right.
Because we've all seen it. When solar goes stupid, it's like a plasma cutter turned on for most of the day.
Yeah.
And you can't extinguish that arc because it's not going anywhere
Right.
till the sun goes down or a cloud goes over it.
Yeah.
Right? The potential for death is huge. At 600 volts DC and less, you hit it and you go, oh, that hurt. Right?
Yeah.
At 1,000, a little different. 1,500, 2,000. Man, I don't want to get hit with that arc.
No.
That's
Yeah.
going to hurt like some bitch.
Yeah. Is that lethal? Is 1,500 lethal?
1,500
Yes,
is lethal.
Yeah.
absolutely. it is.
600
I have no basis
Above
for this.
600 's lethal.
Above 600.
I've only licked a 9 volt before. I don't think I've.
I've accidentally touched, like, when I was building those capacitive banks and stuff, like, I thought I
Yeah.
discharged them, and then only thing I later realized I
You
didn't.
found out, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your
Exactly.
muscles hurt for a
Yeah,
long
for a
time.
long-
Oh, yeah.
time.
I guess they make it, you gotta get
Yeah.
tense up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we got to take a step back just to really understand what your roles are with Create in general. So you're obviously like leading it, but Joe, what about you? Like, what's your
Well, he's a
role?
grand poobah.
I'll take a coffee
right?
break.
Yeah, I did coffee.
He's a
man.
grand poobah, right? Isn't that a Flintstones reference, I think? No, I mean, just real quick, I think to answer your question on the testing and standards, this is what brought Dean back to do this again, right? He saw the product failures from the inverter side. He saw the product failures from the EBOS side. He saw the product failures from the battery energy storage thermal events. And he wanted to take it to the extreme, right? So I'll answer your question on the roles, but when you come see our facilities at Create, there is nobody testing even the ULs and ETLs and the other standards out there like what Create is doing from a salt spray, water, electrical capacity standpoint. I mean, we are going to set the standards and the new standards for the products coming out. And I just want to be very clear on that. Like, Dean has these standards that he's done for so long that he talks about his automotive. We put that into the testing, to the manufacturing, to the field to ensure that these products last, right? So I'll just wrap that with a bow because Dean should be very, very proud of what he's done over his legacy, but also what we're doing in the future. But, Chief of Staff to Dean, that's my role, right? And I'm lucky enough to parade around with him, to learn from him, to, the overnight success story of 30 years is not just overnight, right? There's a lot of battle scars, wounds, and, untold stories that Dean has to get the success that he has. And, it's an honor for me to, build this company with him. I truly believe in what we are doing from the approach of taking what's there today and changing it for the tomorrow of the electrical standards and just energy as a whole. We're not a renewables company. We're an energy company, right?
Given the state of where renewables is, the fact that the last, 5 years, 90% of the generating capacity has been renewables, predominantly solar.
right.
Like, that's what energy is. That's just
it is
what
energy.
it is now. So we don't even need to have that tagline anymore.
We don't. And I just said this in the other room with the leadership team when Dean and I were doing some stop-bys throughout the office here. The R word is very polarizing, right? One side loves it, one side hates it. Where us as business people and American manufacturers and people that are solving for the load growth that the globe has over the next 30, 50 years, really, we're just trying to put good products out there, give great paying American jobs inside the manufacturing, and put that also into the field for the next 20, 30 years, right? And that's Dean's legacy. That's what he's done. And that's what we got to carry forward at Create Energy. And that's what, we're trying to do. And we're excited about it. I mean, this ride is a rocket and it's going to the moon, right? So there's Elon, there's Dean.
He's my sidekick.
Yeah. He's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
Sidekick, can you fit 2 on a motorcycle? I'm not a motorcycle guy, but we have a lot of them.
Yeah. We like all
What's
things
that
that burn
sidecar?
gas.
What's that sidecar on, like the 2-wheelers, the Can-Ams, right? Don't
Yeah,
they have like?
yeah.
I'll be in that side cubby like this,
Yeah.
just holding on.
I'll watch you as I let you go down the road by yourself on that one.
You're a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
We got a segue here briefly. Are you familiar with Verge motorcycles?
No.
No,
So maybe you should look into this. All electric, and they have I don't want to say like a sister company that they work with, but that it's actually, they used to be one company, I think, and the company split into the development aspect, and it's called Donut Labs, and they have developed a hubless electric motor, a software system, all for this motorcycle. And just recently, I mean, we don't want to timestamp this too much, but not too long ago, they said they have a commercial-ready, fully deployable solid-state battery.
wow.
You believe
That's
them?
cool.
I don't know.
We've been hearing solid state for a number of
Yeah.
years.
I know.
I hope
know.
it's real, but
I do too.
the proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. Well, they've if they're not gonna, let's put it this way, if they don't have that tech, the marketing they've done with the videos and stuff, it's been like an Apple launch. They've done it so cleverly, it built up this hype. So I don't know. We don't know quite yet. We're not there yet, but we'll see.
If you're a motorcycle guy, I bought the Harley live wire when it first came. I think I got number 101.
Yeah.
0 to 63 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the Harley guys got pissed, and then they spun it off and made an electric motorcycle company called Serial One.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my second one's a
Yep.
Serial One, and I have their electric bicycle.
Yep.
And I own a Mach-E.
Yes.
And I bought the Mach-E electric bicycle.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Nice.
I got thousands
He's got the whole full
cars,
fleet.
You have like a
and
whole
Cold
battery at your home.
Boys, all kinds of motorcycles, and I'm either on the Harley live wire,
Yeah.
or my 2017 Chevy Bolt.
Yeah. There you go.
And we actually let customers come when they tour the facility. If they are motorcycle friendly enthusiasts, they can ride. Dean lets them ride. He'll hang out with them. Go on a ride with them. Right? I mean, how many CEOs do that kind of thing? And I don't cuss a lot, but that's pretty badass, right?
Leave that one in, Alex.
Yeah,
That's important. We got to get Joe some F-bomb time here.
But
I just think it's cool. I mean, how enticing is it? First, you get to welcome people to 500,000 square feet of manufacturing.
Yeah.
Second, you get to see a
I
classic.
can't even visualize 500,000 square
Oh,
feet.
it's
How do you even
insane.
get around in
Well, we got
It's
two buildings.
huge.
Yeah.
A classic car collection that probably rivals Jay Leno. Yes, I said it. Jay Leno. Dean's coming for you.
Yeah.
We'll
Are
see.
you going on
No.
the show with him?
No,
No, but I just like to say his classic car collection
All right.
rivals Jay.
Okay.
He's got
in
a
our
big collection,
manufacturing
dude.
plant, there's a lot of classics.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's like artwork.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I love that stuff. As you guys have progressed now with Create, are there any specific lessons from the Shoals days that you're trying to incorporate into this next era for you?
Kind of doing it differently,
Mhm.
honestly. I mean, I think first solar came in my life 2003, and then I remember, I think it was 2005 or 2006. They said, "Dean, we're buying Ted Turner's EPC business, DT Solar in Bridgewater, and we want you to go there when the time's right." And I said, "What the hell's an EPC? Engineering, procurement, construction." I'm like,
I had never heard this term either until I came into solar. I was like, what is that?
"Me either."
Yeah.
And they said, "We need a combiner box." I'm like, "What the hell's a
What's
combiner
that?
box?" They said, and then they bought it, and I walked in. They showed me all this. They had a 64 channel combiner box at DT Solar, and they were running 10 gauge at the time. I don't know if First Solar had half an amp going down a 10 gauge wire
Yep.
for like miles. I'm like, "Are you people crazy? What the is this?" I was like, "Oh my God." I went back to the hotel room, sketched up, changing how they wired it, came up with those patents. They went from a 64 channel combiner box to a 12 channel combiner box.
Mm-hmm.
I think back then they were getting 80 cents a watt in eBOS. And by the time I was done in my first round, I think they were at 17 cents
Wow.
a watt eBOS price.
That's
right?
a significant improvement.
Huge. And then the next one I love to say is, so I had been doing that. And next thing I know, I get a call from a guy named TJ, owns Cypress Semiconductor. And so TJ is like, "Hey, Dean, I want you to do the same thing for me that you were doing for First Solar. I need junction boxes and wire harnesses and combiners." I'm like, "Don't you own like a semiconductor company?" He goes, "Yeah, but I'm going to start a company called SunPower."
Mm-hmm. Little old company called SunPower. Yeah.
I tell everybody.
R.I.P. SunPower.
Yeah.
My father was First Solar. My mother was SunPower. They like little bunnies, and I'll pop baby Shoals. And up we went. Both of them were like the two solid rocket engines on the space shuttle, and I just held on and went for the ride with them.
Nice.
But I innovated a lot year over year over year, just because solar by 2000, mid 2000s, kind of got in a groove on it can only be done this way. And I kept looking and going, "What the hell?
Yeah.
This is all idiotic." Right? And just may change. And then, I'm going to give Jamie and Blattner a thumbs up because, I showed them my big lead assembly and said, "Hey, we're going to revolutionize solar." And Blattner jumped on the game on our wagon with us along with Nextera, and off we went.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of at least minimum 10% changes in design cycles, sometimes 30, 40, 50%, sometimes 100, right? And then pull back. Because even at Shoals, you still had to listen to what the customers wanted,
Yeah.
right? You had to listen to their stupidities. And you guys see engineering drawings, you look from customer to customer, you go,
oh yeah,
are you
Like, yeah.
psycho?
Yep, I know.
Okay,
I
I'll
know.
do it, but I'm going to
Yeah.
charge you and I'm going to make a bunch of money from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's good for you that they do crazy. But again, once I got here, I was like, okay, clean slate. It's an empty field. I get to plow. And I'm going to be the first plow on the ground and completely change what the rows are going to look like. And then you start looking at it going, it's not that complicated. It really isn't. But when you're at the mercy of the module and the tracker and the e-boss and the inverter, and they all are optimizing for EBITDA, and nobody
Oh
wants...
right, yeah.
Yeah,
What
nobody...
is EBITDA again for the non? This is venture capital speak
the
here.
bottom,
What is this?
It's the bottom number that it matters to private companies
Yeah.
and private equity and publicly traded. It basically lets them know the damn thing's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, my claim to fame as the president and CEO of Shoals Forever, I used to tell people, you could come in and talk balance and income statements. You want to talk engines? I'm all in. You want to talk balance and income statements? I don't know what the that thing's
I'm out.
Is there a big number on top and a nice one on the bottom? Keep going.
Yeah.
Checkbook loaded?
Yeah, let's
roll.
go.
Yeah, I would literally tell my finance team, don't tell me we're doing well till about Q3.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I normally run with the mentality, I got one foot in the grave and the other foot on a banana peel. And I am one purchase order away from bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It keeps you moving quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up out of bed at 4 a.m. I'm at work by 5:30.
You're motivated.
Work till 6, 7 p.m.
So that banana peel.
Banana peel.
Only work 10 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's fun.
Yeah.
And I've woke up, thank God, I wake up and I've woken up for the last 20-some years of going to my hobby
Mm-hmm.
and having a great time.
Yep.
And that's probably the difference, right? When you wake up and you go to work, or you wake up and you're dreading to go to work, it sucks.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Most people do that too, which it sucks, honestly, but
Yeah.
not in renewables, I find.
No, and
Sorry, I can't use that word.
No, that's the R word.
Energy.
That's the R word.
Energy.
Energy. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
See, it just sounds better. It's not.
We're catching
politicized.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but to your point, like I think everybody's acting in a silo, right? We see it in engineering as well. Like when you don't have certain disciplines, maybe there are different EOR, for example, right? Everybody's doing their own thing as opposed to collaborating, and that you see that a lot often than you like, and then you end up with a product that's okay-ish and not really the most efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that's what you're solving for, right? Like,
yeah.
and like looking through your videos and stuff, it almost feels like you're trying to build like an Arrow Electronics kind of system, right? Somebody
Yes.
can go in there, get like a whole system that they want, and then that can be the most efficient way to get it done. So
the idea is you kind of pull up to our 50s Primetime Cafe
yeah,
menu board, pick what you want.
Yeah.
We're not going to twist your arm and make you purchase what you don't want. And then days later, instead of calling it Amazon Prime, I'll say, I'm going to Dean Prime it, right? Out to your solar fields, right?
yeah,
So we're designing pure standardized solutions. So the tracker will have the steel setting ready for whoever's module it is. All this stuff's just going to sit in racks, right? And when I'll give you an example. Let's just say you need a load break disconnect. I've got them pre-built in the factory. I'm going to take the enclosure. It's empty. You're going to call and say, hey, I need these hole spacings. Here's what our hole pattern looks like. I'm going to take that empty enclosure. I'm going to run it through the router, put the holes in, bring that back panel, marry it up, ship it out the door. Right? If you want a 400, good for you. You're getting my 600 and I'll derate it. Right? Just stupid common sense.
yeah,
And doing what automotive does best. When you go across any automotive system, there's the Bosches and the Delphis and the Calsonics, right? Who sell fuel injection systems or alternators, right? It's the same alternator across all
Yeah. Yep.
GMs, across all Fords, across all Toyotas. Each car's not building individual parts, right? It's just commonized off-the-shelf products that they mix and match and ship to the dealership. We're doing the same thing, is standardizing as much as possible. So all this stuff is just sitting up in the McDonald's menu board, waiting to ship out to the Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And instead of saying I need 12 weeks of ordering materials and waiting for it to arrive, and then I need 6 weeks of manufacturing time, and you'll have your parts in 20 weeks. We're saying we could ship out 5 days from now, right?
But how are you solving for like technology change though? Like for example, they're thinking about perovskite cells and stuff like that. So are you trying to work with vendors coming up with that so that you can kind of preemptively do the testing so when they launch you're ready or something like that?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes. But the other thing too is I'm not trying to second guess any industry.
Okay.
Right. The best way to explain how I'm operating the company is we're all in this sea of chaos, and it is one turbulent ass chaotic freaking
accurate
water we're in.
Yep.
We are in a rubber raft, and the only thing we're doing is, how's your coffee? Is we're taking and we're just bailing, bailing the water out. The industry is going to figure out where we're driving to. I'm not smart enough to know we should put all our eggs in the data center, AI, or is it in solar? Is it in battery energy storage? They all come and go in months or years, zeros to heroes, back to zeros.
Yep.
I'm not going to try to second guess the industry. I'm just going to have all these kick-ass solutions across the supply chain and the product chain. And when it's time, if next year battery energy storage takes off and it's the biggest portion of our business, cool. Who gives a shit, right? Trackers take off, great. It's okay if it doesn't, right? If eBOS takes off, great. And the good news is they're all taking off nicely.
Yeah.
Right? But they're pure standardized. It's a Sherman tank ran into Abrams tank. So you got this massively strong steel we're using as an example. Our torque tubes are 4mm tubes like they were 10 years ago, right? They're not bending. They are dead flat across the spans, right? We're just building massively reliable products. Reliability is what the utilities are screaming for. And we're going to get to the point where we have our app with that little AI built onto the boards, and we now know where the employees are, right? We know where the trackers are. We know what the weather stations are doing. We have a common platform. We call it our plant-wide controller that basically it's on the O&M jackets of the people servicing the solar field. It's on the construction team. It's running the IV curve tracer. It's running the tracker. It's running the thermal monitoring in the eBOS. It's running MPPTs in the inverter, right? And it's just one big global ecosystem. I know it's an overgrown buzzword, but it's standardizing chores that you're paying this company who's going to take it up the butt, charging you engineering costs and then monthly service fees, because most companies in solar are now publicly traded. And what's the favorite buzzword of publicly traded? You need recurring revenue models. Recurring revenue. We have hardware systems that are open architectured. So all the data that we're generating goes out in a 485 connection, right? Wireless. Just it's your data to go do with whatever you want with. We're not forcing you to come and pay us a recurring revenue charge to collect the data to run your tracker field. We sell hardware, and we're going to sell the very best hardware out there. And then if you have a NOC that you want to operate and watch your solar fields, great. If you want us to do it, we will. Reluctantly, we will, right? But we'll offer that as a service. But what you do with your data, it's your data, right? We're not trying to collect it to go sell it, right? We're trying to optimize total O&M services once it's installed. You'll know to go to tracker row 3. There's a fuse out. The tracker motor is drawing 0.3 amps more than normal, looking at standard deviations of motor control currents and voltages, right? We're doing predictive analysis, right? Not sending people out in their PPEs and they're trying to figure out where the hell to go and what to take. We'll know if a fuse is out. We know if a motor is starting to show degradation or a bearing is starting to act stupid, right? We just, and then year by year, with the AI, we'll start doing even more predictive analysis of we see these key indicators happening across the solar field. Now roll a truck. Don't roll a truck every year. As a matter of fact, with our systems, the eBOS, once we install and commission it with you, we close it. You don't open it up for 10 years, right? It's a bumper to bumper 10-year warranty, not 2 years on disconnects and arc fault suppression, and then 5 years in craftsmanship. It's 10 years bumper to bumper, right? That's how reliable we're building our products. And we're not doing it because we're trying to freaking go land some customers before we go broke and have, bankrupt. We have done extensive testing. We know what we're doing is delivering hyper reliable products. And the last thing we want is somebody opening and closing those disconnects annually or semi-annually and putting a load on the disconnect for no stupid reason, right? And putting that person in harm's way because they need to get their little FLIR camera out and go check the temperature of the disconnect. We already know what the temperature of the disconnect is every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
We know what the lug temperatures are. We know what the DC feeder temperatures are. We know what the inline fuse temperatures are, right? And it's all automated, all wireless.
No, I'm excited to see how this impacts, like, if you're talking about all this efficiency gain just in solar, I'd be curious to see what you can do with BESS as well. Just like inefficiencies that I see, like daily augmentation. Nobody knows what they want to do. Oh, so just keep some space for later or whatever, like I feel like those are all inefficient systems. People want to do DC coupling, AC coupling. Nobody really knows. And so it'll be interesting to see how you guys come up with something for BESS. What do you guys see like in
I'll let him answer because I'm on a coffee break again because I've been yapping a lot.
Yeah, battery energy storage is something Dean has been very passionate about since we first started this, and it came through that microgrid, we've done for C&I customers out there today. But when we talk about battery energy storage, I believe truly that this is the next generation to store capacity, energy, and deploy it at scale in critical needs for critical applications. You can take that on the data center route for mission critical failover to keep the data center running, right? You can take that through a C&I approach. We're right up here in, Target's headquarters, right? Best Buy's headquarters. This is a retail capital of Minneapolis. If you take the C&I approach, if you have mission critical, let's say it's tornado season, which it is right now in the Midwest and the North. Let's just say a tornado comes through and wipes out, some of the power, right? To the areas. How are you going to fail over, right? Is that going to be a diesel genset? Is that going to be battery energy storage? Or should it be coupled with both, right? Mission critical applications in the C&I space have a very, very lucrative spot for battery energy storage, right? Keeping the refrigeration running, keeping the point of sale systems running, keeping, the HVAC or the IT, critical load systems. Battery energy storage is something we are very bullish on. And actually, I'll tease you with a little bit about it. We will be building a North American battery energy storage product right at our headquarters here. And we'll be releasing that product at RE+. It'll be the big Dean Solon, Steve Jobs unveiling at RE+. But it's something we're passionate about, and something that Dean and I have been talking since the early days of Create. But this battery energy storage product that you're saying that you were just identifying has critical issues, right? Yeah. Powin, no longer in business. Yeah. Name your other battery energy storage providers. Take Tesla out because Tesla is doing extremely well. Yeah. Everyone can see that.
He kicks ass.
He kicks ass at it.
And that probably goes back to the point, to your point of testing, rigorous testing. Because when we had to work with Tesla back in the day, they were very thorough. They almost forced us to get thermal chambers to do testing. So they're very rigorous to get somebody on board, and they're not going to get anybody.
Thermal chambers.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. I'm going to add one more because I've signed up our factories for UL 9540 test laboratory status.
Okay.
We'll be an internal test lab for 9540.
Wow. Okay.
That's very huge. Few people in the United States can carry
the whole
that.
Fire test too, like the 9540A.
We will exclude the A, which is the fire,
yeah,
because I don't have enough acreage to go like
burn stuff.
Everything else we do internally.
Okay, that's huge. Yeah. I hope you guys do all the short circuit testing, and because that's another huge piece for me. Like, like how do these batteries actually interact with PCSs? Because 9540 is a system test, and a lot of people forget that. And so they're like, okay, let's just pair this battery with this PCS and see if it functions. I'm like, no, that I feel weird when we do that. So I'm curious to see how you guys do. You feel the same? Like, do you feel like you guys are trying to solve for all those issues?
We do,
well?
and we are solving for those issues because you really have three issues in battery energy storage today, right? You have Tesla is absolutely crushing it. They're going after the utility scale, right? Yeah. And, they got the orders, they got the backlog, and rightfully so, Elon has done a great job. Mm-hmm. But there's a niche in the market to where you have, let's call it 100 megawatt hours and below to the C&I level that is an untouched market because Tesla and the behemoths in the battery energy storage don't want to, leverage their capacity, their manufacturing for those verticals in the market. Mm-hmm. We see this as an opportunity, right? We don't need to capture every piece of battery energy storage. We don't have to capture every product or project, right? But what we do have to capture is the best product, the best communication protocols with that product. Yeah. And what we also need is a non-Chinese BMS.
Mm-hmm. That's huge.
The issues that this industry has is the fact is that outside of Dean, a lot of these companies rely on China to produce these parts, components, and pieces.
Hold on, we won't say their name. Gold.
And also, I'll take
Gold
this
Battery Management. They just scratch their name off and put an American or Canadian or whoever European name on Gold system and say, yeah, this is my circuit board. Bullshit. It's all gold. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows it.
But just quick break to say, what is the BMS for those who don't know?
Battery management system. It manages everything in like an EV vehicle. It's talking to the batteries. It's your software protocols. It's everything that's giving the data to the cells, to the packets of the module packets, back to the operating system of the vehicle, or in stationary storage like battery energy storage, what we call BESS, is really the centralized brains. Think of it as the nervous system behind the operating capabilities of that storage infrastructure.
So it's measuring cell voltages and temperatures,
which is huge, right? That's like literally
that's everything.
That's everything. Like that's for a product that's just sitting there. The BMS is really what you want to focus.
And that's where we started, right? Yeah. We knew, we look at the ERCOT market. We look at all these other markets that are saying, no more Chinese inverters touching the grid. No more Chinese BMS touching the grid. So what did Dean and I think, years ago, he comes up with the idea to build an American BMS, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we are doing, right? You got to start at the core to get to everything else and around it, right? But this product is going to disrupt the market, and I'm excited about it. I know he's excited about it. I know our team's excited about it because you have too many thermal events and too many people that are integrators that are literally just taking a module, sticking it in an enclosure, and not doing all the testing in between. Yeah. Let's become vertically integrated. Let's start with the BMS, and then let's build our system up from there, right?
And
makes a lot more sense.
And our same board, the plant-wide controller board, is inside the battery in the BESS too. Mm-hmm. So we have one common platform communicating to not only the renewables, but the battery energy storage too.
Yeah, and that's how it should be as well, right? Like you want it to be kind of talking to each other smoothly without having to go through, this is a different vendor now. I have different protocols. That in itself is an inefficiency, right?
And you're paying subscription fees to all them different integrators and software platforms and blah blah blah. And that's just dipping in your pocket and stealing money right out of it.
I didn't know the subscription epidemic also extended into. I thought it was just like streaming services.
Just Netflix.
You can thank me for that. I mean, I worked at a large telco provider. Actually, my dad started in telco back in the 1980s. Don't blame me, but you can blame the cell phone industry back in the early 80s for the subscription-based model, which has taken off, right? Because everything's $59 a month.
It's recurring revenue.
My self-driving car is now at Tesla. Now you can't buy.
Right? Yeah, you can't buy
the self-driving.
You can't buy it outright anymore.
Nope. No. February was the last. I think February or March was the last.
It was $6,000 when it was. I thought it was expensive at the time.
But now it's a deal.
$12,000. Now it's a deal. Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Mercedes or BMW? After a couple of years, they turned off your heated wheel and heated seats unless you bought a subscription.
Yep. I think that's
Mazda does that. I was so frustrated. 3 years after.
Several people do it.
You guys go.
Yeah, it was Mazda too, because I know Abby.
Yeah.
She's like,
dude, 3 years. Yeah, heated seats. I got to log in and.
But take that back to what Dean's doing, right? Yeah. Okay, you have one of the best American manufacturers, electrical component innovative minds out there. Mm-hmm. You have an industry that is worried about cost on their balance sheet. So what are they doing? And he mentioned this earlier, and it's very poignant. They're trying to drive costs down in the market by taking it out of the product.
Yep.
He told me something very, very much that sticks with me when I first met him in 2021. He said, Joe, why would I save a penny if it's going to cost somebody their life? And that stuck with me for a very long time, 5-6 years now, since I've known Dean. And I think that's takes everything that we do and what he does. We don't launch a product until it goes through the rigorous testing. And I invite everybody out there that's listening to this to come see the Dean Solon Disney World. And, there's teaser videos out there that you can watch today. But when you come in and see the attention to detail we have from the start of a product innovation testing all the way to the go-to-market and commercialization of that product, there's nothing in between that this man's going to try to save a dollar on. He's going to make sure it's the best product out there. And it's kind of that Tesla, Apple, and Create Energy way. Let's innovate at the front end and drive innovation through our testing and make sure it's the best damn product out there.
I was going to say, it reminds me
for
of
a
Apple.
decent price too, right? We're not the most expensive and we're not the cheapest out there. We're going to land somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of Apple when my wife bought, I don't know if it was iPhone 14 or 15, and they had this whole marketing thing, and they're like, oh, I've and titanium now. And I was like, okay, it's great. Then I realized it doesn't conduct the heat out, or it just gets hot. And I was like, guys, you did all this marketing ploy and then you realize the product's inefficient. It kind of reminds me of that,
That's because every junior high school kid was sticking their phone in their back pocket and then sitting down and bending the crap out of it.
That's true. I'm a back pocket phone guy too, so that might have been
You got one
my
of these
fault.
side pockets, brother.
I know. Golf shorts don't and golf pants don't have side pockets, unfortunately. I know.
Soon enough. So my question to you guys is, Dean, your background in automotive, I guess it seems like so much of that has influenced what you're doing now at Create, just making things simple. But then the example you cited about it all operates in the same ecosystem. We're going to have the same alternator and just derate it or whatever. In the grand scheme of solar right now, do you think the arrival of Create is that the leveling up this industry? And is it was now the right time? Is it what the industry needs right now? Should it have already happened with the age of the industry?
I think in the last 5 years, it went from okay product to garbage. And a lot of the customers we're engaged with and landing purchase orders with are actually owners. They're the IPPs. They're the utilities.
Yeah.
Right. And
people who actually have to
hold
bought
these assets, and they won in the last 40 years, and they can't get 2 years out of this stuff. And they're sick to death because they don't have enough O&M crews to go try to debug all this garbage that's put out in all these fields. So they're sick to death, right? And quite honestly, thank God I lined up in 23 with the right idea in the right place. Again, chaos was kind of spinning around. And I was looking at all these systems going, it's just garbage out there, pure garbage, right? And how do we take this from a garbage dump to a system that's totally reliable again? And it wasn't go to the module people and say, hey, I got these ideas, and then go to tracker person and say, hey, I got these ideas, and try to convince them both. How do we merge up and make this a more unified, stronger, better, cheaper product? Cheaper in cost, not quality, right? There's none of them want to have that conversation at all, right? Because they're all working for the greedy good, which is their EBITDA, and they're all getting squeezed, right? That's the bottom line. Is the utility started to squeeze, and then
so the knock-on
shit
effect
slows downhill, right?
Yeah.
So some of the utilities deserve what they got. You wanted to have super cheap, and guess what? You have super cheap, and enjoy that garbage. And they're already starting to repower systems that aren't even a year old.
And that's really going to be the data that sticks out maybe in the next 5-6 years, is how many more projects are getting repowered faster than their actual repowering cycle. That's just it.
Well, hold on. The site we just got a couple orders on, how's that site?
Yeah, so we got a couple repower sites that's 2.5 years old. Let's just call it 2 years old, right?
So 1/10 of the design life.
Yeah. So, and exactly why the IPPs and independent power producers, right? I know I need to start defining acronyms,
acronyms,
right? I forget about that. And the developers, they're seeing the generation of, I don't know, when was the first pile driven for fixed tilt or solar? 2009, 10, 8?
For trackers?
For like real, fixed tilt
Oh,
and trackers.
I built my first 4 megawatt in 2005. I think it was in Colorado.
Okay, so
Fort
we're
Collins.
coming up on 20
Fixed
years,
tilt.
right?
Wow.
20 years of
Yeah.
stuff being in the ground,
Yeah.
life expectancy. I went to a site in Texas, and the site was built in 2013 for $250 million of 30 megawatts.
Say that
Some
again.
Vaseline was required for that price. I'm going to say
30
that
again?
Yeah, exactly. So let's call it 12, 13 years old site,
Yeah.
Okay.
30 megawatts built for $250 million. They asked me to go to the site, walk the site, looked at failing central inverters. Let me say that, failing central inverters, failing modules, and failing DC architecture systems because it's getting out of date. And the products, to Dean's point, weren't built back then or today still for a 30-year PPA. So now you're looking at, as an asset owner, you put $250 million into this. You're now 13 years in. And what do? Do you sell that asset in its current state and then somebody else has to repower it? Or do you repower it and take it again for the next 15?
Yeah.
There's a big issue out there today, and repower is going to keep coming up because one, the components were not built back then for what they need to be today. Even the components that are being sold today are not built for what it needs to be in 30 years.
25 years is a long time.
Insert Dean Solon and create energy. That's what we want to solve for.
Yeah.
And that's why the IPPs are running back. All these old industry friends of Dean are running back and saying, Dean, we have a major, major issue. The products aren't built for a 30-year span. They're not even built for a 10-year span. Create saying, hey, we're over here.
Yeah.
And
We got products in a warranty.
But we're designing to a 50-year life cycle.
Yeah. Accelerated testing.
I have a question for you guys. It's a little more lighthearted. But
Okay.
Dean, now you're a car guy too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you had to equate what you were building in car terms, as far as like, because you're saying that what comes to my mind is I had a 2005 Prius and nothing went wrong with it forever. It just kept going. Do you have a car in mind? Are you trying to like build this car that's like so like economical but reliable and efficient, just works great?
I'd say it.
You can't say a Jeep because those are pieces of shit.
I want to. On one side, I want to say my Corvette. I got
Yeah.
a 2016 Corvette,
Yeah.
reliable as hell.
Yeah.
But on the other side, my little 2017 Bolt.
The Bolts?
Both.
Right, literally, it's my daily driver. It's got 70,000 miles on it, and it just
Keeps
never.
going.
Change the tires and wipers, probably. That's
Yeah,
it.
I got to change the wipers twice now on 70,000 miles. No brakes, no oil changes, nothing. It just goes.
Yep.
He's a Tesla driver, and it's the same thing,
Same
right? You
thing,
get in.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't miss driving past $4 gas and 10-minute oil changes every 3,000 miles.
Yeah.
First of all, a car doesn't even need an oil change every 3,000 miles, right? But people go get them all. You're like a trained chimp to go get it, even though the oil lasts, till the gauge on your car says go get an oil change. But people are pulling over, and oil changes are now a couple $100 every time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
go.
There's
Every
so
time
much
it's
more
$100.
now.
Yeah.
They're like
It's
twice as
insane, man.
much.
How much
Yeah.
is an oil change? Curious. I'm a bit out of the. I've been driving EVs for 5 years. I
Well,
have no
our
idea.
other car, so I have an Ioniq 5, and but the other car we have is an RX 350 from like the mid 2000s.
Is that Acura?
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
Lexus.
yeah.
Great
Lexus,
bang for
okay.
your buck for a cheap SUV is like your second car, but I want to say it was like $80 at like a
Wow.
little independent shop, and they used to be like $35.
That's
like
And if you go to
not
like
that
a
long ago.
major dealer, they're charging you $100.
Oh
at
yeah,
least.
yeah. The dealer is gonna get you.
Dealer's gonna get you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
When we were building the microgrid for Nissan, their biggest dilemma was their customer base who wants to buy cars from 21 to 34 can't afford a home, so they rent.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they put solar on their house? Well, they're buying an EV. We've got solutions out there. Patents are in, and a lot of things we talk about. We have patent pendings, blah blah blah, but we have a way to take 80% of the cost from home to home. Leave the modules behind.
Yeah.
Modules are dime
Yeah.
a dozen.
Mhm.
Cheap
Yeah,
as
they're
hell.
cheap.
Cheapest
Yeah.
right now.
It's
Right.
like your cell phone today.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to get in the industry and go from the razor flip phone to the iPhone 3.
Yeah.
That's the level of
the
change
razor.
we like.
Yeah,
to
that
go.
was a good
I
one.
loved
Back.
my razor.
Yeah,
With
I like
my
that.
100 songs.
Yeah.
It was like this. It was
Yeah.
just, flip and talk. That's it, right? Yeah, I miss those
It was
days.
Bringing me
cool
back.
until the iPhone came out. You go, oh, and then BlackBerry's like, that'll never
Yeah,
never go.
why would people want that? Like, well, that didn't age well. So
And no longer BlackBerry is in existence, which
No.
is a great movie, by the way, that BlackBerry documentary.
I was told
which
that.
is
I
fantastic.
was
I
told
watched
that.
it
I
on
need to
Flight to
watch
Europe
that.
2 years ago with him. It was
yeah.
freaking
All
awesome.
right.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
Because they thought they were untouchable.
Yeah.
BlackBerry thought they were untouchable. Of course, I lived this world in my previous life before the energy sector. BlackBerry thought that they were too good to fail or too big to
Dangerous belief.
fail. Dangerous belief
Yeah.
in business as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to think your competitors right
You always got to
behind
have be 1 foot in the grave and one on the banana
That's
peel.
banana,
means-
yeah.
yeah. That's
There
right.
you go.
Right.
Just don't slip.
That's the caveat. Don't slip. So I think that's probably about it. So you guys, thank you so much for coming onto the
Yeah.
show today. I love everything you talked about, the concepts, where you're at. Dean, I feel like you're right on the money once again at this point in time. So thanks for doing what you're doing. Joe as well. So we usually end this portion of the show. If you guys had to, this is a softball question. If you had to give some advice for someone coming in the energy industry, it's not the renewable energy industry, it's the energy industry, our industry, let's say. Whether it's someone, like us who've transitioned from other industries, found our way to solar, or a new grad coming in, like, what is that piece of advice you'd want to share?
Persistence.
It's that simple.
Sometimes you can be very intellectually brilliant and not have the staying power.
Mm-hmm.
And in the way I handle staff coming to work for me, first thing I ask them, you ever work on old cars, do electrical work, heating and air conditioning, because I need debugging skills first versus PhD-isms of paralysis by analysis. I love tinkering. I love to fail quickly and get to the next revision. And it's hard for intellectuals to sit in this market and move forward because they'll get bored with it or they won't succeed and they jump ship and they're only inches away from success.
Yes. Oh, man.
Before they jump ship.
Yeah.
Persistence
Yes.
always wins because we're riding a sine wave.
Mm-hmm.
It's in favor. It's out of. It's like my jorts. Every 10 years, I'm in fashion.
They're pretty.
They're definitely in
right
right now, though.
Yeah.
Everybody
Definitely
looks
in
at me and
fashion.
laughs. I don't give a rat's ass. You don't like my jorts? Go f yourself.
Is that the actual piece of advice? If you don't like my jorts, go f yourself.
I think that might be it.
that and persistence.
Yeah.
But stick it out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you have the money to stick it out, right? But a lot of companies give up too early, too quickly, because they get the problem. I'll give one example. Everybody, when I would go to trade shows at Shoals, we'd have a great booth and great parties. Everybody knew we partied like
I've
crazy and
enjoyed
have a
the
good
Shoals
time.
party once or twice.
Which the
Thank
create
you
part.
for- thank you
it's
for
the
putting that
create party now. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But my engineering team would go, "Come on, Dean, let's go walk around the trade show and see what everybody's doing." I say, "No, I'm not leaving the space." Literally, I would be in our booth and the pisser. And I would go
That
no
was it.
further. I don't want to go see what any competitor's doing or what the next tech is, because like Alice, you're going to go down the wrong rabbit hole, and you're going to think you're screwing up, and you're going to divert over here, and you're going to zigzag over there, and then you're going to second guess what you're doing, and you're going to slowly f yourself, right? I know what I want to go do. I'm going to do it. I put my blinders on. I don't look at my competitors. I don't give a shit what they're doing.
Stick to your guns.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
If it's well received, purchase orders show up. And if it's not, well, shame on me.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a dangerous thing in business where you can get distracted by what other things seem to be succeeding for other people elsewhere. And really, you just got to trust that, we've got our product. We're going to find our people. They'll find us. And we'll,
Chase your signal.
Yeah.
Leave the noise alone.
you got all sorts of these.
I got all kinds
Yeah.
of singers, man.
He's media trained.
Media trained. Joe, what
No,
about
I'm only potty trained.
Barely. Yeah.
Barely.
barely made it here
You know,
today.
it's a little more difficult.
Yeah.
One
Joe,
piece
what
of-
do you got?
One piece of advice I would say is to anyone coming in this industry is don't look at things as a constant, right? Look at things as ever changing And the thing I think, Dean's advice is obviously spot on. I would take any advice from Dean and listen to it if I was out there today. But
you didn't wear your jorts though.
I just, what I said? I said,
this is generational change.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a golfer, right? And he's a gearhead. We're both G's, right?
Okay.
Right? OGs.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I got a wrench in my hand. He has a golf club in his hand. It's all good.
So
we all just be friends.
So as soon as Vineyard Vines, you can take this. As soon as you come out with a nice looking pair of jean shorts that I could wear on the golf course, then I'll wear them. But no, that is his persona, and I'm not going to take that away from him ever. And I can't pull him off like he does. But the advice is, this is an ever changing industry. And I look at it from what my dad told me at a very young age. He started in cellular back in the late 70s, early 80s. Stay on the bleeding edge of technology, but always push the boundaries. Mm-hmm. Don't just say we installed this way because we installed this way 10 years ago, and we're going to continue installing this way, and we're going to continue putting this crappy product in the field. Challenge the status quo, think for yourself, and try to break as many barriers as you can. That's what I learned from this guy. If someone tells you you have to do it this way, challenge that. Mm-hmm. Why do I have to do it this way, right? And think outside the box. But don't just come in and just say, well, this is the way solar's been done. This is the way battery's been done. This is the way electric vehicles have been done. This is the way we built substations. Think differently and think for yourself. That's very philosophical coming from somebody who did major in philosophy. So have fun with that.
Now he's going to wear a Laurel hat.
Oh, yeah. We got one of those in the back we can give you?
We can have
I think it was, I think therefore I am. I think that was Socrates or I don't know. Now my college professors are going to email me and say, you don't remember?
One of them Greek person.
Yeah.
And I'm a Greek person.
That's right. So. But have fun every day. It's an ever-changing world and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And, just, think outside the box.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on the Sounds of Solar podcast. Yeah. Do the thing. I believe it is what are they supposed to do?
Smash.
The what?
The subscribe button?
Yes.
No, likes.
Smash it, baby.
We're going to get
hit
you.
That shit.
We're going to get, hit that shit. We're going to get you trained on that eventually. Just listen to him. He's got it figured out. Anyway, from all of us here at the Sounds of Solar podcast, we'll see you next time. And thank you so much for listening. And Prati, what's the thing you say at the end?
Peace.
Boom.
Peace out, homies.